a video specifically designed for pet owners in the Philippines. Number one, there is very, very rarely people that are getting medical care for their cats and dogs. So if you do get medical care for yours, they're going to be exposed to all the other dogs and cats that aren't. So that means they're not dewormed, that means they're not debugged, that means, you know, they have fleas and ticks and all kinds of things that are going to transfer over to your animal. We have a dog, and as you've seen, we rescued a little kitten, a 2.5-week-old kitten that we have since rehabilitated, and now she's crazy and drives us nuts. She chases the geckos, and she goes running on our faces all at nighttime, and just, you know, super healthy. However, we have taken, you know, great steps to treat our animals. We give them baths, we defleed them and detick them, and we keep getting issues with parasites, and every time we go out with our dog, we come back with some kind of companion riding on her fur, which is usually, I mean, last time we went on a walk, we brought Goldie home, and she had 13 ticks on her just from 1.5 hours out in the, you know, in the neighborhood. The other thing is you'll notice that almost all the dogs have skin issues, and you'll see bald patches, and some dogs are just stripped of all their hair, and those are essentially like ringworm. They're skin mites, and the thing is they're transferable to humans, and I got to find out about those the hard way because it transferred to me. And so I'm trying to right now get rid of some microscopic mites that have got into my skin, and I'm using creams and stuff to try to get it off, and it's no good. And so these things are going to definitely be issues, especially if you live in a place with high animal population like we do. I mean, there are so many dogs and so many feral cats, but mostly there's a lot of dogs, and, you know, they have diseases, and, you know, we take our dog out, and it's just a losing battle. So how to combat that? I don't really have any suggestions other than, you know, kind of keeping them quarantined from it. But no matter what, at least where we live, there's a lot of goats. And so, in fact, they even call the ticks goat bugs, and they're just deer ticks. But they are everywhere, and I think that's because of all the goats. And so we do a pretty good job keeping, you know, on top of the ticks. That's the easy part. But the hard part is the skin mites, the ringworms. And ringworm is not an actual worm, although our dog has come back with worms, and we've had to use ivermectin. That's the thing. Ivermectin was hard to find in the States because of the COVID stuff, and they said horse paste and all that. So, you know, it was next to impossible to find. But here, you can buy it at Sorry stores they give it for pigs and chickens. And so we have our dog on ivermectin to get rid of the internal parasites, and it hasn't really worked because, like I said, we go out and you know, she'll get into the garbage. She'll find some food left outside for another dog, and their saliva and things have gotten in it, and she licks it. And, you know, you can try to be on top of it when you're walking, but when people are talking to you and you stop, and next thing you know, you look down and your dog's eating on something that it shouldn't, you know, it's tough. So as a pet owner, those are the things that you need to be aware of, and you will definitely encounter if you live in a high animal population.